Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. This is my first ever makeup tutorial, my first video, so welcome. Please like and subscribe. This is my everyday morning makeup routine. This is my go-to makeup routine. There are parts that you can copy, there are parts that you can definitely leave out, but this is how I do my makeup every morning. I like to, well, for me this is a pretty basic look. Like, I like to still do some like bronzing, but I don't do a full contour. I still like to highlight, but I stick to like one powder all over my face, for example. I try and kind of mix and match a few kind of high-end techniques mixed with some kind of get out the house and let's get going. If I'm really rushing, I can do this probably in 20 minutes, but I like to give myself 30 to 40 minutes to do my makeup every morning. I think anything more than like 40 or 45 minutes is like way too much, but this is definitely a look that you can do in 30 minutes, and if you leave parts out, you can definitely do it in 20 minutes. There are some things that are unnecessary for some people, but they're just things that I like for doing my makeup. I have very full brows, so my brows don't take me long at all. Most of the time is spent on actually doing my base and getting my skin looking kind of glowing, and I try and keep the eyes quite simple too. Please leave me comments and let me know what you think of this look, and anything else that you guys want to see. So please enjoy, and I look forward to meeting loads of you. Thank you. So I start my makeup with the Elemis Pro-Collagen Marine Cream Moisturizer. I like to use this before putting on my makeup because I find it really hydrating. Please leave in the comments below if you've used this and what you think of it. I think it's pretty good. Then I go for the Becca Backlight Primer. I like this one because it gives my skin a really glowy, dewy finish, and it's not too tacky. Some primers are just too tacky, but this one is perfect and it just really makes my foundation look good. I don't use a full coverage foundation on my whole face. I actually use the Mercier Tinted Moisturizer. It's the oil free, and I'm in the shade Fawn. I don't use a full coverage foundation because I don't need it, and this one still allows my skin to peek through, and I put this on with a damp beauty blender. Make sure you blend it out really well. I put it on with the pointed part, and then I use the flat side to blend. I'm now using the Makeup Forever Ultra HD stick in the shade Desert. I only use this kind of around these areas because this is where I need more coverage. I can go for the Naked Skin Concealer by Urban Decay in the color Light Warm. This concealer is really great. I know a lot of people are talking about the Tarte Shape Tape. I haven't actually used that one yet, but I like this one because it's light and it doesn't crease. So for me, this one's a really good option. I do under eyes, I do down the bridge of my nose, I do the V shape above my nose. You can see I'm blending out under my eyes. You'll see that I also put on my Cupid's bow at the corners of my mouth, and I've put it kind of under my cheekbones as well. Make sure you blend this out really well. You can see I'm blending a lot. If you're not blending, you're not living. Next, MAC Ochre Paint Pot. I'm going to use this with my beauty blender just to give me a base on my eyes. Now, if you want to skip this, you can just use your concealer in place of this, but I had some time this morning, so I used the MAC Soft Ochre Paint Pot just to prime my eyes, and I'm just blending with the beauty blender under my eyes now. And I'm going to now bake, cook, fry my face with the Mercier Translucent Loose Setting Powder. I love this stuff. I use a damp beauty blender, and I just put it straight on. This is the best way to bake, especially the under eyes, and I really pack it on. Like, don't be shy, you need a lot. This is gonna give you a flawless finish under your eyes. But I also bake other parts of my face, so down the bridge of my nose, you can see I'm baking my chin there as well. And these are the areas that kind of get the most oily, as well as my Cupid's bow again, so above my lip. And the parts of your face that get most oily, usually the T-zone, and the parts that are likely to crease, you want to use powder on. And now I'm using the Morphe E1 big fluffy brush to just set the rest of my face. I can't be bothered to use a different powder, so I just use this same powder just to set all the other areas of my face. But just make sure you don't touch the parts where you've been baking, because we're going to wipe those parts away in a minute. I'm now going for the Too Faced Chocolate Bar Palette, and I'm using the shade Milk Chocolate with a Morphe M505 brush, and I'm just using this as my transition shade You just need a good brown for your transition shade, especially if you've got a tone like me. And now the Tartlette in Bloom palette, and I'm using the shade Flower Child, and I'm just gonna pack this on my lids with a MAC 239 brush. Don't worry about being too accurate because we're gonna blend this out now with the Morphe E13 brush. This is a great fluffy brush for just blending between where you've packed and the above part. I'm now using the shade Funny Girl by the Tartlette in Bloom, and I'm just putting that in the middle of my lids just to give them some light. Doing my eyebrows now. I'm just cleaning them up with some cotton buds. But I am gonna go in now with the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz in the shade Ebony. I'm gonna start by just combing through with the comb, and then I'm gonna turn it around and I'm gonna use the pointed part to actually fill in my eyebrows. I don't go too crazy on my eyebrows because they're quite full. So just do as much as you need. And now I'm going back into that Chocolate Bar palette by Too Faced in the shade White Chocolate and a Morphe angle brush just to carve out underneath my brows. And I'm now going in with the E41 brush by Morphe just to wipe away all of my bake from my whole face. I'm just using a Morphe E13 brush just to fix the transition and blend it out. And I'm now using a Sephora Eye Kohl in the shade number 7 Infinite Beige. And that's my inside of my waterline done. I'm now using a flat eyeliner brush, and I'm going back into that Tartlette in Bloom palette for the shade Jet Setter, and I'm just using that under my eyes. I like to use a MAC 239 brush to blend this out, but I like to use an angle brush to put it on as well. So you can see here, I'm putting it on with the angle brush, and I'm now gonna blend it out with a MAC 239. The angle brush is the one from Morphe that I used earlier, but the MAC 239 brush is great for getting under the eyes, just to blend everything out. Be careful not to smudge into the actual waterline where you've put the Sephora Kohl pencil. I'm now going in with a Too Faced Soleil bronzer. I use the shade Medium Dark. This actually smells like chocolate, and I'm using the Morphe E58 angle brush to contour and bronze. I just use this one brush to do my whole face, cheeks, my head. I actually use it in my nose, you're gonna see in a minute. And I'm using it to minimize my chin. If you guys are interested in how to deal with a square face and minimizing your chin, let me know below and I will do a tutorial. But you can see I'm doing the whole face with one brush. Now I'm using the Makeup Forever Star Powder in the shade Iridescent Pale Peach. I love this stuff, and I'm using a Morphe flat eyeliner brush from the bronze set again. And I want to use some Fix Plus from MAC just to wet my brush. And I'm gonna use the Star Powder on the inner corners of my eyes just to really give them some pop and to make my eyes look bigger. I do this and the Kohl pencil from Sephora in the beige color because my eyes are quite squinty and small and I want to open them up, and this catches the light. I'm now using the Christian Dior Show Blackout Mascara. I don't like the waterproof one, I like the regular one. And I start by only putting it on my top lashes and letting that dry. While that dries, I'm getting my highlighter, Champagne Pop. You can see my one is broken, but this is the Becca Champagne Pop and the Morphe M509 brush. I wet it again using Fix Plus, and I'm just tapping off some excess and I'm putting it on the high parts of my cheek, down my nose. I'm gonna just wet my brush a bit more, get some more, and just continue highlighting my face. I love Champagne Pop by Becca. It's a great highlighter. Doing my Cupid's bow again. But one is not enough. Nope, you need two. So I'm using the Becca Moonstone. This time I don't wet my brush with the Fix Plus. I just now put this dry on top of the other highlighter. I find this one really helps you to pop. And now the Inglot Blush, which is in the shade 29, and I'm using a MAC 133 cheek brush for this. This shade really works on my skin tone. It's like an orangey peach and I love it. I always do my blush after my highlighter. Be careful not to blur or smudge into the highlighter though. And now I'm using a Morphe E41 brush just to kind of clean up and dust the other parts of my face and help everything blend together. And I'm gonna go back in with my mascara on those bottom lashes now. I like to let the top dry, do my cheeks, and then come back to my bottom lashes to make sure there's no smudging. Fix Plus all over my face to set my makeup. Ooh. Looking good. And now it's time for lips. I'm using the MAC Oak Lip Liner. This is a great go-to lip liner. It's perfect for the daytime. It's perfect for work. lunch, brunch. I love it, and it comes out really good. I slightly overdraw my lips. I have quite a full bottom lip, but my top lip is not so full, so I like to overdraw. More Fix Plus, really set it. And now Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick, and this is in the shade Naked. Again, it works really well with this lip liner, and it's a great everyday shade. And I'm taking my hair out and showing you guys the finished look. Everything is listed in the description box below, so just look there for everything that I have been using in this tutorial. And please like and subscribe. You can also follow me on Insta, Snapchat, and on Twitter.